Gather round, members of the court. We are here to discuss the imminent crowning of a new universe queen. As channel queen, I deem this video begun.
All my ladies. All my ladies. One to the left, sway to the right, drop it down low and take it back high. Bitch, one to the left, sway to the right.
Hi, my name is Davana. I can be reached at all my social media links. Let me just make sure I am presentable because I had to give myself a nap. I was a little irritable today and I couldn't figure out if I needed a nap, some food, or some cuddles. I got 2 of the 3. I'll have to live with that. I have been inundated with requests to do this video. Everybody wants to know my thoughts, my picks for pre-arrivals for Miss Universe 2019. Apparently you guys love it when I'm judgmental. I'm just joking. We're all nice on this channel, but we know the name of the game. It's Miss Universe and competition is tough. So let's just get right into my picks, and feel free to hop in the comments. And why do I always get a text message while I'm filming? Sorry guys, it's my mother. It's my mom. Oh my God. Sorry, I was just notified that my cell phone shared my location earlier today with 3 people. Awkward. Luckily it wasn't anyone problematic, so I'm okay. But let's get to my Miss Universe list. I actually did watch all of the girls' performances for their national competitions, and I did judge them. Like, I have a point system on here that I judge them. Now this list is in no particular order. I have Mexico, Chile, USA, Ireland, Philippines, Thailand, South Africa, Venezuela, Vietnam, Brazil, Slovakia, Puerto Rico, Indonesia, and Peru. Now, of course, I gotta break this down a little bit and tell you why these ladies made my list. First of all, there are some women that I knew were favorites or I knew that were popular, but I went and watched their videos and I did not add them to the list. And I'm sure some of you noticed Colombia is not on my list. When I watched Colombia's competition video, at that time, I was picking up confidence issues on stage. She wasn't exuding the natural confidence that I expect from Colombian women. She just didn't seem as strong. And if you go back and watch the video, I feel like you will see or not see the same things that I saw. It wasn't natural. She wasn't giving me that natural, happy, like exuberant vibe. Watch the video. Also, India is not on my list. India does have a really good level of confidence and she doesn't seem completely unnatural, but to me, India seems very over the top, like Miss Grand style over the top. Like over top, but not in like the best way, not in like extra whipped cream type of good over the top. For Miss Universe, I feel like India's a bit much. Addressing the inconsistency issues I'm seeing with competitors, many women seem like they are very good in the swimwear portion of competition. That's where I have a lot of these women scored high, and those women are Chile, Puerto Rico, Slovakia, and Vietnam. Particularly had higher scores in their swimwear competition than their evening gown competition. Not to say that Thailand and Philippines didn't have high scores for me also, but their high scores were consistent across the board for evening wear and swimwear. Meanwhile, the other girls placed much higher in swimwear than they did in evening wear. And I am calling this issue before we even get to Miss Universe. Ladies cannot do this. And the reason they cannot do this is because of the Philippines. Evening wear, to me, is one of the hardest stage performance aspects of Miss Universe. For swimsuit, you just want to show your confidence. You just want to be bubbly and show your charisma and show your walk and just be bright and be out there. Swimwear is a lot easier to wear. Evening wear is much more of a subtle type of competition. You have to present power, you have to present confidence. At the same time, you have to maintain a level of regalness and gentleness and grace that it's very hard to mesh together and make it work. It's very hard to be both confident, charismatic, but also be gentle and regal. It's something that I see a lot of women struggling with. Puerto Rico, for me, had a very high score in swimwear, but her evening wear left me wanting more. Her evening wear isn't bad, but when you think of the caliber that Thailand and Philippines is bringing to the stage, her evening gown performance is going to seem boring next to the Philippines and Thailand. Vietnam, I had the same issue. She did really well in swim, but I felt that it was very lackluster in evening gown. I think we all have to come to terms with how the universe competition has evolved. Philippines has changed the game, especially when it comes to evening gown. They have absolutely mastered the art of being confident and regal at the same time, bringing an element of grace and fierceness that meshes so well together that they are incredibly difficult to beat in evening wear competition. And because so many other countries and competitors are not as strong in evening wear at start, it just makes Philippines and Thailand and countries that have a much higher level in that category stand out even more, because I am not seeing the level of fierceness coming from even the United States the way the Philippines brings it in evening gown. I will address Miss USA right now. I am a United States citizen, but under no circumstances do I allow any biases on my channel. And if ever I feel like I'm going to have an innate bias, I will so state. But I do my best to have absolutely no biases. So Miss USA, I do see issues coming with her, not just because it's her, but I've seen the same issues for a very long time with United States competitors. Miss USAs are extremely well trained when it comes to interview and answering questions. They are arguably the best at it. They focus so much on it, but they allow the other elements of competition to slip. I'm starting to see the same issues I'm having with European nations happening with USA, and you know I am not happy about it, especially when it's a Black woman this year. Like, come on, sweetie. For the last several years, Miss USA is bringing me girl next door vibes. They're bringing me bubbly personality, which is cute in state competition and maybe national competition, since the United States seems to like to pick those girls. But when it comes to universe competition, they are looking for a queen. They're not looking for, you know, a bubbly little princess and they're just like, oh, she's so cute and everything. They're looking for a woman that is owning that stage, who is behaving as if she wants to win, as if she knows she's going to win. I don't see that level of fight coming from the United States. When you look at the Philippines, I won't even point at the current Catriona Gray. Let's reference Pia. Pia is my favorite Miss Universe, just so you guys know, so you guys can stop picking on me in my comments talking about, oh, you don't support the Philippines. Pia is my favorite, so stop it. So let's think about Pia. When Pia does her evening gown, she is very happy. She exudes confidence and friendliness and happiness, but at the same time, when you watch her competition, you can see the fierceness in her eyes. Literally, you can see it in her eyes. Her face changed. You can see the side eye. It's amazing, but at the same time, she is still this bright, young, personable woman that you just want to hug. I do not get the same excitement from the United States that I get from Filipina competitors. I don't. And Thailand is another woman who exudes that during evening wear. And just so you guys know, I've been following Thailand since she placed in Miss Earth. I've been watching her since then. So when I found out that she was going to be in Miss Universe, I was like, yes! Because did you see Thailand's performance in Earth? I did. And I rewatched the 3-second moment when she performed her evening wear, when she did her over the shoulder like cat eye look. I half damn died. Thailand. When she did that to me, like, I got absolute chills when Thailand gave me that look. And I felt like she was just looking at me, and I was just like, oh my God, I'm not a lesbian, but I mean, for you, I might. For For like 3 seconds, Thailand made me question my sexuality. And this is what I'm wanting to point out, the excitement that I get from certain performances from like the Philippines and Thailand and Vietnam and Venezuela. I do not get that excitement from the United States or most European nations. Slovakia was a very, very, very happy surprise for me. I was very happy to add her to the list. She deserves to be on the list. I believe she needs to be better in evening gown, like I said, but gosh, it's so nice to have a country that we haven't seen in the top for since when? It's nice to add someone new to that top list. The country of Peru, I didn't really see anybody rooting for or adding her to their list, but she's going on my list. I researched her myself. I decided on my own terms to just check up on Peru and see what their competitor was like, and found out that she's pretty darn good and consistent. The only issue I have with her is that her English is very poor, not in a normal sense. She can converse, but when it comes to competition, those questions I know are going to be so complex that her English is not going to cut it, or her English is not good enough to where she can give an eloquent answer to be able to win. So I highly suggest Peru just uses a translator. Even though she can speak decent English, it's not good enough for competition. Ireland was another massive, massive surprise. I believe we had a really, really good Ireland not too long ago, and even she was amazing. I think I follow her on Instagram too. But this year's Ireland, she gives me Vietnam vibes from last year. Remember Miss Vietnam? You guys know how much I loved her. I'm getting those vibes from Ireland, and I pray that it was not a fluke. I pray that this is how she's gonna compete at Miss Universe. Ireland can be a force. I see her being a force. And then I saw a little bit about her background, and I believe she's some sort of scientist. She has a shot. Another woman that has a very good shot is South Africa once again, but I'm really happy. She seems like a real queen. When I saw her videos and I saw her walking, she seems to own it. So I don't know how her speaking ability is, but based on what I'm seeing on the internet, which is, you know, it can be hard getting videos, but I'm very diligent. From what I'm seeing on the internet, it can honestly be another Philippines versus South Africa again, plausibly. Speaking of, and I just want to put this out there, where is the rest of the African continent? I am tired of South Africa having to be the representative for all of Africa. Like, do you guys need help? I won't charge any fees, but can you guys just fly me out there? Because I feel like we're missing a whole chunk of the planet. I'm just saying, as a dark-skinned woman, it would be nice to see more positive powerhouse representation from the other 50 countries located in Africa. Like, I know that we have other African countries competing at Miss Universe, but the only one we consistently see doing well is South Africa. So like, can y'all just call me? Call me. Right now, if I had to pick out a top 5, right now, if I had to pick out a top 5, Philippines is dead, yes. Absolutely yes. Like, yes. Thailand, yes. South Africa, absolutely yes. That's 3. Venezuela, yes. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ireland, Philippines, Thailand, South Africa, and Venezuela are my top 5 picks for potential crowned Miss Universe queens as of this moment. Now, we know when it comes to Miss Universe, their past performances don't matter. So one of these girls could trip on stage. One of these girls could lose their nerve. Someone could totally blow it in an interview. We do not know. And seeing as I'm having consistency issues with some of these women, it's likely that at least one of them will mess up and knock themselves off the list. And it's very plausible that a country we do not see coming, or a country that we saw, you know, doing kind of poorly, will completely go through an intense amount of training, completely recreate herself by the time she gets to Miss Universe, and she could come out on top. So There's a lot of things that can still happen before competition, but hey, this is like our fantasy football. This is like our fantasy league. So feel free to put your fantasy list in the comments. I would love to see what you have to say, if there's any countries maybe I didn't see or videos that I didn't see, because I know not all the girls have their videos online, but maybe you spotted something that I didn't. Let me know. It is very possible that Philippines could walk away with a back-to-back title, but I don't think this competition is as determined as Catriona's was. When we watched Catriona, we knew she was a front runner and the girls were just playing catch up to her, which is why, I know some of you don't know this, which is why I was pushing for other competitors, because if we know who's gonna win Miss Universe before the competition happens, it's no longer fun. So even though I knew Catriona was definitely a front runner, I did not want to negate any of the other competitive girls that could stand against her. Otherwise, what's the fun in watching Miss Universe if we know who's gonna win? If there's one dominant female who's just gonna destroy the pack. So I'm not saying this year's Miss Philippines isn't as dominant as Catriona, but I feel like she has more tough competition than Catriona did. For last year, I feel like Catriona only had South Africa and Vietnam as serious contenders. Only two girls that even had a chance to stand in her way as far as I was concerned. This year, the Philippines is going to have to fight a little bit harder. And for my fellow Americans, I am not counting out Miss USA. I'm just saying she's going to have to do a lot of work if she wants to stand toe-to-toe with the girls on my top 5. I feel like they're training Miss USA competitors like they're competing for just the USA. This is Miss Universe. You have to do better. You have to be fierce. You have to be confident. I'm not seeing it coming. I believe she has it in her. I just hope that the coaches are not holding her back. That's it. That's what I think. Those are my current picks for right now. I did not break them down into country categories. I don't know if we're doing that this year or what, if we're gonna have a top 15, 16, I don't know. I just picked my top. But let me know what you think. Let me know what your lists are down in the comments below. You guys know that I read everything and I will respond. And remember, we will be gathering here during the Miss Universe competition to trade all of our fantasy picks and opinions, and of course to watch the live reaction. It was nice talking to you. I miss you. I love you. I'll see you later. Bye.